in front of an audience at the AI4 Business Summit Orlando. Let's hear it. My good friend, my brother, someone I've worked with for 15 years now, and he is a master at understanding what it takes to use AI to your competitive advantage. We're going to share all the tools on today's podcast. So Brian, welcome. Let's grab a seat. And what are we going to go over?
We're going to go over a lot of stuff. So we're going to dig into some tools today. Francis, let's hop on and do a podcast and talk about some of the stuff that really wows people. So opens people's eyes and makes us look like a genius, right? So I'm going to pull some up.
What's the most exciting thing in the world of AI? So we have a lot of tools, we cover a lot of tools. What's the most exciting thing right now? What's the first thing that you got? What's the big wow?
Probably, gosh, that's a hard question. I think agent browsers are really making a massive impact. So stuff like Manus and Flow and things like that are starting to kind of change the game of what's capable with AI.
Is that what you're pulling up right now?
That's one of them we'll talk about.
Okay,
yeah, but there's so much cool stuff going on. I would think probably the things that I find myself using the most are just stuff that we can use for advertising. So VO3 is absolutely amazing. ChatGPT for image generation, which by the way, both of those are in the tool. Nobody even knows VO3 is in there yet, but it's sitting in there this morning. One of the best. It is a little expensive to use, so we'll talk about that.
But it's amazing. Who has not seen VO3 yet? Raise your hand if you haven't seen it. There's a lot of people in the room that have not seen VO3. You'll be amazed.
Yeah. So there's so much cool stuff coming out right now.
I'll let you go ahead and pull it up, and I'll talk about. So he just mentioned agent browsers and Manus. So that entire presentation I created, as Brian pulls this up, was created in Manus. So I first went to our app and I just gave it some ideas. I said, okay, let's go ahead and create a presentation to the AI for Business audience. This is what my audience consists of. Help me create based off of this. I took the prompt, the super prompt that was created, what we'll talk about in our next session, and put that into Manus, which was pretty amazing. That's what you saw earlier today. So all the slides, all the content, the way it was positioned, the framing was Manus. All I did was just look through it and said, does this make sense? Is this what I want to say? And so such a powerful tool. I know we'll bring that up a little bit later.
Yeah, it looks like an internet story close now too, so we'll see. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is just ChatGPT. So I think most of you probably either tried it or have it at this point, but there's just some cool stuff with it that not a lot of people use. So I'm going to at least talk about two of them. One of them we talked a little bit yesterday at our A3 meeting. I'm going to actually get my phone out because this is how I usually use it. But I use the voice module on this a lot. So I don't know if who in here uses voice on ChatGPT right now. So if you're not doing it yet, it's so helpful. And it really gets to know you. And I don't know the difference with all the paid plans, quite honestly. I do have the paid plan. But it goes back and memorizes like everything. So if you're not using it, it's really good for your personal life, like personal growth, personal goals, business, basically everything. And it's like talking to a real person. So I put it on my phone because that's the easiest way to use it. And I'll just show you how I do this. And click on, I actually forgot to put a little picture up of it. There's a little thing on the little lines on your phone. I just click on that. I name mine Yolanda. So let's see if we can talk to her. Hey Yolanda, are you there?
Ready to chat? What's on your mind today?
Well, I just happen to be sitting in front of about 600 people or so. We're at AI4 Business Live here in Orlando. And I have a lot of different business owners that came here to learn how to scale with AI in their business. You want to say hi to everybody?
Oh, absolutely. Hi, everyone. It's awesome to be virtually here with all of you at AI4 Business Live. I hope you're all having an amazing time and getting tons of valuable insights. Let's have some fun and learn a lot together.
Awesome. So there's a lot of people here that are just getting started with this journey. And maybe they're just beginning, a little scared to take the first step. but they want to be an AI influencer, an AI agency. What would you tell somebody that's looking to get started as far as the first steps and how to get their mind right with that?
Well, first of all, it's all part of the journey, right? That curiosity and being open to learning. Don't worry about having all the answers right away. Just start exploring, experimenting, and don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way because that's how you grow.
Awesome. And let's say I was just starting a business right now that I'm kind of brand new to this, and I just don't know what to do. I'm like leaving my job, or maybe I'm shifting into like a new space. Could you kind of role play with me a little bit on what I should do? Like, what kind of business should I start? Like, can you help me figure out like what I'm meant to do?
Absolutely, I'd love to help with that. Let's imagine you're at a crossroads and you're trying to figure out what really excites you. What are some things you're passionate about or that you've always been curious to explore?
Well, I love marketing. I love AI. I know that much. I definitely want to kind of keep my freedom so I have time. Trying to kind of make a business model around my passions and my wants and needs.
That sounds like a fantastic foundation. Since you love marketing and AI, you could consider creating a business that helps other businesses integrate AI into their marketing strategies. You could offer a consultant.
I'm not going to keep going with that, but I'm just telling you, it's so helpful. And because it does remember everything, it kind of implants things specific to me. Like I'm making a scenario with her, but if she knows it's me, she knows about my life, she knows about my kids, she knows their names, she knows my wife, she knows everything about me basically since I was a young boy. We've had a lot of conversations. She knows like what is keeping me from getting places sometimes, even if I'm having like a roadblock. We all get it. We get plateaued. She understands like on a deep level. We have like patterns, right? Some of you have been through like Tony Robbins events or some stuff like that, and you understand why we are the people we are. Well, so does my supercomputer. So she's helpful. So that's really, really good. And again, if you're not using that, it's like perfect for downtime, taking walks, whatever. Just make sure you're using it as much as you can. I mean, think about it like this. You have your best buddy in your back pocket that's read millions and millions and millions of books, research papers from Harvard, Stanford, like basically everything that's public knowledge. It remembers all of it, and it can give you feedback on all of that stuff in seconds, whenever you want. So if you're not doing that, the other thing that I was kind of talking about yesterday with the A3 group is a lot of people settle for like the answers that the LLMs give you, or like talking with voice mode. If you felt like it was incomplete, you didn't ask the right questions. You got to dig deeper. And if you say like, what are the best marketing strategies for my dentistry practice, it's going to say something really broad, like Google AdWords. But you got to say, all right, that's awesome. Like, can you help me put together a plan? What are the best keywords to use for that? How can I make the best ad? And dig down and get all the answers, so you still don't feel stuck. With AI, you shouldn't feel stuck with anything. The stuff can do about anything you can think of. The other thing that I wanted to show you with ChatGPT before we move on is a new feature that I'm not sure if anybody's using. But there's a little microphone right here. It says dictate. I'll kind of blow it up. This is voice. For some reason or another, when you plug in speakers, it doesn't work, so that's why I did it on my phone. But there's a little microphone here, and I could sit, like, let's say I'm talking with a business owner about AI automations, AI services. I'm on a phone, the Zoom, whatever it is. You want to do a role play with this?
Yes.
Okay. So I can hit this, and you pretend you're a business owner. Okay. Or I will. I'll pretend I'm a business owner. You can try some. All right. So let's go.
What am I selling?
AI services.
Okay.
All right. So, hey, what's happening?
I don't know what to say now. Hey, Mr. Business, what's your name, Brian? Are you
Yeah, Brian. I'm running a Hanson dental practice here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I've been looking at kind of getting into this AI stuff. I just don't know much about it. I don't know where to start. All I know is I see a lot of my competitors and everybody doing this stuff. I don't want to get left behind. I don't really know what to do with it, to be quite honest with you. I just know there's a lot of power in it, and so I reached out to you. It seems like you offer services with that, and I'm looking for the expert.
Awesome. So what are your biggest needs right now? What are the biggest holes in your business that are holding you back from growing your business right now?
You know, we're taking a lot of calls. I'm trying to set more appointments, but I just don't have the staff. You know, the expenses of all my operational costs are really high at the moment, and so I was just kind of thinking maybe AI can help me reduce costs, scale my profit. I've heard about chatbot stuff, so I was thinking maybe I could implement those for appointment setting. You know, do you guys do any of that kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
so what I'm hearing is that you need to reduce your costs, but also have more efficiency in your people that call in, and make sure every lead is, every person that calls in is talked to and cared for, and have that. Have you ever heard of AI voice bots?
So, you can sit and have conversations like this, and then when we're done, we just click this, and it goes right in. It'll do about 2 hours of that. So it's plenty long for any kind of conversation, but this goes right into ChatGPT now. And that allows me to now take that data, and I can send emails, I can get an idea of a proposal, so I can say, based on these customer needs and everything that I just talked about, what should I sell to them? What kind of automations do they need? What should I write the proposal about to be? And I have all my data, I can get all my data right in front of me.
So what I love about this also is that you can essentially take that sales conversation, because I did a terrible job at it, and improve it, right? Give you feedback.
Yeah, so that's the new feature in here, and it's built in. So you can do it on your phone, you can do it in the computer, and it'll basically give you everything that you need. And it's already in here. Again, it goes 2 hours long, and I can write emails right off the fly based on this. I can do a recap of the call. I can do an email with a recap of the call, what we can do for them, the proposal and the offer, with the call to action and everything, just by pushing a button. And so before, there was a lot of steps to that. Even if you knew how to use it, you might be taking it from Fathom or Granola or one of the Apple taking notes and trying to paste it over and do all that stuff. The other cool thing is it memorizes it. So since it's done in here, it starts to memorize all the stuff that you're doing with your clients. So that's a new feature inside ChatGPT. Very, very cool. The other thing that, just to note, because there is a lot of things that ChatGPT does now, when I'm doing that conversation, I can have a conversation with Francis if he speaks Spanish, for example, and in real time it'll dictate the conversation for us. So it'll translate into English to me, and it'll translate into Spanish for him. So if you're trying to do global business and talk to somebody that speaks another language, it automatically does that as you talk to each other, which is absolutely wild. So,
If someone speaks another language,
but I don't speak another language.
Russian.
Speak Spanish, where's he at?
yeah? Has anybody ever tried that? Awesome. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, absolutely.
This could be a little difficult. We'll see what we can do.
That's good. Come on up.
All right. Hey, Ronnie.
Hey there, I'm still here. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to chat about or any questions you've got.
Okay, so hey, what language are we speaking? Spanish. All right, perfect. So I'm having a conversation here with a client. They speak Spanish and I don't. So I was wondering if you could help translate in real time so we can talk to each other.
Of course, I can definitely help with that. Just let me know what you'd like to say and I'll translate it into Spanish for you. Let's do it.
Okay. I would like to ask her what kind of business she's running right now and what kind of problems that she's having in her business.
Quisiera preguntarle qué tipo de negocio está dirigiendo en este momento y qué tipo de problemas está enfrentando en su negocio.
Los problemas que estoy enfrentando son conseguir nuevos clientes, y el negocio que tengo es un consultancy de AI para empresas pequeñas y medianas, y me gustaría ayudar con cómo conseguir más clientes.
The problem I'm facing is getting new clients, and the business I have is an AI consulting service for
Awesome. So, could you ask her if she has an American Express, please?
there's live translation of these now as well. The latest update, so I can actually have these on and talk to someone in a different language, and it'll translate for me real time, just like that. And you can hear the speakers with glasses.
And keep in mind, you can do advertising in other languages. So, like, if you were trying to go global before, because you have something that can be sold global, AI services, right? You're not limited anywhere because you can have everything translated. You can write your emails with ChatGPT in a different language. So you can write communication. You can do your advertising videos. We showed that, but, and remember the tool HeyGen? So, we'll show that in just a second. We are doing a podcast with some of the cool things, but you're not limited anymore. Like, you can do almost anything if it can be done online. So the second tool I want to talk about here, AI for Business Hub. So a lot of you have it. Actually, all of you should have it, I think. If anybody doesn't have AI for Business, maybe you're brand new to us, this is the first time you ever saw us, you at least need to get yourself into our Pro membership. It's only $100 a month, but you get access to all the amazing tools and the community. So we have group coaching that we help you out every week, and you have all those tools. But let me hop into the AI for Business app and show you around a little bit. I'm not going to do a full demo because we have all this recorded, but for the purpose of talking about some pretty cool tools on our first podcast here, I wanted to quickly go over this. So we have a chat section, and in the chat section, I can do a lot of cool stuff. One of the things that we'll talk about today is the super prompt.
That's our next session, the super prompt.
Yeah, we're going to go into the next. Who's using that again in the room? Did you get some pretty good results? Those who used it?
After this next session, everyone in this room is in that way. It's definitely.
So give it a clap if you got a good prompt back. It is amazing. So that is in here under tools. So if you keep hearing about it, there's all kinds of different stuff in here. In fact, the other tools in here were made with the super prompt generator. So there's a business coach. If you need advice on your business and want a coach, there's a tool for that in here. I made it with the super prompt generator. There's a business plan generator. If you need a business plan, you don't even know what you're going to do yet. It's in here. There's a market research analysis. So if you want to do market research on your business and get all the information on the market, your competitors, all that kind of stuff, it's in here. There's a financial projection system to project your finances. There's a UGC ad generator, so user content generator. There's a super prompt creator, that's the one. So this is going to make you look like an absolute rock star. We'll go into it later, but if you've even seen it on Facebook, we had thousands of dollars of people wanting to buy just the prompts, not the generator. I just said, hey, we can make cool prompts with this. How would you like me to create like another 40-some prompts? And I think there's over 100 comments in there now, just by posting them. In fact, the craziest thing is, 2 of them I know, and they're automation experts that are prompt engineer experts. They know how to write prompts. But it's literally, if you use that, you're going to be like in the top 1%. So you don't have to worry about like trying to look like an expert. You're like, the experts are going to think you're an expert. So it takes you to a different level. We'll go into that a little bit later. But yeah, we have that.
Well, let's bring this up during our super prompt session, which is our next session. We're going to have crowd interaction to see creative prompts for your business specifically.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool too.
This is something very new. We allow you to create your business profile. So it helps you create your brand voice, your customer avatar, and a compelling offer. And it does it by microphone. So I'm not going to do it now just because it takes a little time to go through. But you literally turn on a microphone and it creates your entire brand voice and gives you a ton of data. Remember me talking about a tool called Ventura's AI and it gave you all that amazing data? It's very similar to that, but it's built right inside of our tool now. So very, very cool stuff.
And Ventura's AI that costs $97 per report, maybe $197.
I don't know the exact cost, but it is a paid tool and now it's inside of here for you guys.
Stress on that. Using that tool, you can go to other companies, do a full consultation with them, and charge them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for that report analysis. So it's instant business in a box for them.
And then we have image generation. So if you're not playing around with that, we have the best models in here. So personally, I like ChatGPT's 4.0 image generation. It's in our tool. So if you want to create really cool stuff with like words on it, like this we were just doing with people that, other people that own, actually this was ours, Cash Buyer team. But I can make any kind of image that I want and put words on it right inside the app, just by typing it. So the key is like, we don't want to do a lot of work. All we gotta do is like say what we want. In this case, I just said create an image of a woman in front of a house with a dump truck in the front that's wearing Cash Buyer team gear. And put Cash Buyer team on the dump truck too. This was somebody else's business here. We did the same thing. They might be in the room. Their business was Peachy Clean. They cleaned up houses and took trash away. Another one. And it created even the logo and stuff. All that stuff was created just by typing some stuff in. This one, AI for Business. AI for Business, we're putting out a building and have them wearing gear. But you can create anything, like logos, buildings with your name on it, any kind of thing you can dream up. You know, I'll pull up some stuff that we've done in the past here that you might have seen. So like this, that is made with the tool, and she's not real. And you can put the text, as you can see, on multiple things, so it doesn't even have to be in one area. I put it on her shirt and on the side. You know, it can create entire paragraphs. So it doesn't even matter, like, the problem with AI creating images in the past is it took so many tries to get it right. It would hallucinate. Yeah. So it was cool, but like, you kept doing it over and over and over again, trying to get it right. That's not the case anymore. It actually gets it right more times than not, and you can create a lot of text on that. And like all this stuff, like that, regretting take two after missing AI for Business Live. This is great. Yeah. Very cool. Expires when attending the next event. But I didn't like say like what to make the pill bottle look like or the colors. I just said create a pill bottle that says this, and then I hit enter right inside of our app. This one, I did this last from the Goonies. I thought I'd make a good dental ad, but then I realized you probably can't use this. Commercial rights. The Ghibli memes that you've probably seen all over, those are created right inside the app. You can use this 4.0 to create those. Those action figures that you're seeing everywhere. All that stuff can be created right inside our app. So you're probably seeing a lot of this stuff. Or the Yeti videos. Have you seen the Yeti videos all over? They're like blowing up. Of the Yeti in the woods, doing all these things. You can create those inside of our app now. So a lot of people just don't know what's actually in here. So I could do an entire session on this. In fact, I have this recording in Pro. But if you're not using this stuff, it's really, really fun. And I want to say something like this, the FOMO emergency kit in front of me and a lot of the other stuff that I do, I don't think of the ideas. So you don't even have to do that. Like, this has become so crazy that as long as you are like a visionary, like Sam Altman actually just said this. He said, this is the time for visionaries. Like, this is the time for the creators. The tech guys and stuff used to kind of make fun of the visionaries because they were always looking for a team. Like, I got this big idea, you know? And I'm an idea guy. But now they're not laughing anymore, you know? Because we can do anything. Like, all this stuff. We can create apps, front and back end. Like a full stack developer we have in our back pocket now. We can create websites. We can create any kind of thing. Copy, sales copy, images, videos. It's just getting ridiculous, honestly.
So Brian, I want to ask you on that. So you would say you're only limited with your creativity. That's not even the case anymore, because you can ask AI ideas, and then you don't have to be creative anymore, right?
You know, that's a good point, because you don't even have to really be a creator or a visionary at this point. You need to be a button pusher. You need to have the right tools. So that actually is what it comes down to, is understanding what tools to have and what they can do for you. Because quite literally, we just kind of started to do it on my phone a little bit. AI can tell you what to do. It can pull that out of you and help you be creative and help you figure out what it is. I could have had a much different conversation about what kind of ad should I do, like what kind of videos should I be creating. So,
and we'll talk about prompts a little bit later, but on that point, you can say, I want AI, I want you to be the world's best creative ad agency. I need 7 ideas to create awesome unforgettable ad for the AI for Business Summit. And so you don't have to be that expert ad person, that Don Draper. AI will do it. And then you use AI to create the actual images.
Flux trained Loras. So I don't know if you've used this inside the app, but it allows you to put your own images inside there and make really fun stuff. Whether you want to turn yourself into Superman, boost your ego a little. I don't know, but just making fun stuff. I've done a bunch of wild stuff with this thing, but getting people's attention is what you need to do to stick out right now. Like, people don't want to see the same old boring, tired stuff. Like, when you're scrolling through, most of the leads that come in from like marketing right now, even most of you in this room came from Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook isn't a store. They're not getting on there to buy stuff. They're getting on there to have fun and see what their friends are up to and look at like current events and updates. The last thing that they want to do is buy. So you're moving into a different type of marketing called pattern interrupt. You're trying to interrupt their day with whatever it is. But if you're blending in, it's probably not going to get found. It's the stuff that kind of pokes their eye out. They're like, what in the heck did I just see? And so you can do all that kind of stuff. Like, you just upload your photos into the app. This is in the AI for Business app. And I can start doing really crazy stuff with myself. I actually posted this one. And it's funny because my family really doesn't know what I do back in Iowa. My mom and dad do, but most of my family have no clue what I do, which is kind of fun. But they're like, what? Wasn't that thing like mean? Didn't it try to bite you? I like had a message in me. I'm like, I played along with it for a little bit. But I was like, no, it was really nice actually. I mean, you can put yourself in a banana car. If you want to put yourself in a tuxedo, I don't know one. In fact, many of you have probably never even seen me in a suit jacket, because I don't wear suit jackets. But I thought I'd put one on for you today, so probably had a good day.
The first time we've ever been on stage together, we were wearing a suit jacket, we were the same color. So we matched now. We didn't call each other up earlier today.
I know. I'm kind of wearing right actually the right. So anyway, have fun with it, but this is all available to you guys to use. And it is inside the AI for Business app. What it's using right here is Flux. So it's Flux trained Laura, but without needing to know the geeky stuff. I don't like to get into like all the model names and all that kind of stuff because it's really unimportant. What's important is you guys using this to make money and scale your businesses. So it's in there, and this is called like the Laura trained model, L-O-R-A, right inside that. So VO3 is kind of one of the things that's really amazing right now. In fact, your daughter is making amazing videos. Ava, I'm sure she's probably in the room here.
Where's Ava?
Okay.
There she is.
There you go. Yeah. I need to take some tips from her.
You'll see some videos from her a little bit through the break, so keep an eye out for that.
But this is made where you can make commercials that look pro. So like, instead of spending hundreds or thousands even to have a producing company create things, you can make the wildest stuff like the pictures I'm just showing. And again, like, I'm kind of going into the video and the picture stuff because advertising is everything. Once you get the business ready and you're ready to go, getting leads and getting customers' attention is what's going to get people interested. Look at this room. We did it for catching people's attention. So, VO3, I'll just show you a couple of examples. Pretty cool. I don't even know which one I'm about to play right now. They're short videos, but you can time it. It's kind of hard to hear me. Let me do this one.
We might take, are we able to pull up Ava's video? Maybe that'll work, because I see it on the screen right here. Are we able to pull up one of Ava's videos by chance? If it's too slow running yours? There we go. Oh, here's one guy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You might be in the back.
Let's try it again. For some reason, didn't make sense. Is that on my end? Oops. the connection. Anyway, it is really cool and when it works.
Are we able, Chris, are we able to put those videos up from Ava? Maybe if you have it in the back of the queue? Awesome, here we go. Let's see if this works.
And I run a business like it's 1997. Come on, just print the invoice. Hold up, no, you hold, wait, who is this? Hello? Yes. No, please don't hang up. Nothing is working.
Hey Bob, I already handled your leads, sent your invoices, and ordered you ice cream. You're welcome.
Wait, you can do that?
Yes, Bob, yes it can. And it doesn't even take lunch breaks.
She didn't have to hire an actor, she didn't have to have a set, there was no video crew, there was no audio. It was all AI generated, and it took, the script was written with ChatGPT, and the video was created by VO3, and it was done in, I think that was the first video she did. It took 2 days just to learn it. I gave her some prompts. By the way, we're talking about prompts in the next session. The other videos she created took less than an hour each, which is amazing for a video just like that.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff.
And if you don't need time together, you just create like a really short one. The time it actually takes you to do it is seconds. The video itself takes time to render, so that's like the longest part. All you gotta do is put in your idea, and it creates it. Like this one, I don't think I can play it, but I just said that I wanted a Yeti holding a camera like a selfie stick, looking at his phone, talking about missing out on AI, and it's got a picture of a sloth on it too, wearing an AI4B shirt. So you can like literally put shirts and your brand and everything in it. Like it's absolutely crazy. And I mean, I don't even know what something like that would cost. I wasn't in production. But I would imagine to create like some type of an animation with your business name and all that kind of stuff would probably be in the thousands, I'm guessing.
It costs way more to hire a talking gorilla. Cost prohibitive.
I thought I'd try them again anyway. Alright. Let's see. Do one more, just to see. I had a really good one. I had some cool stuff. So anyway, he's talking. But I literally changed scenes just like David did. So he's like flying, he's going to the AI4B conference, by the way. I put this on the Facebook. I wonder if I'll play easier from Facebook. Let me,
Now again, so if the audio is not playing, it does have audio, it does have background music, it has whatever prompts you give it, it creates. And this opens up the doors, because now you have a whole ad agency in your pocket. You don't need to hire creatives to be able to do this work. You don't need to hire video teams or actors to do this. It's all within your pocket, which is amazing.
let's see if it'll play on here. Okay. Well, that's okay. But you kind of get the idea. Sloth is saying funny stuff.
Look how real it looks though.
Yeah, and he's wearing no shirt. And you can go on Facebook to check this out. But he was flying in a plane, he jumps out of the plane, and he's talking to his whole thing, and then now he's walking to the event. And I actually had a part where it was like, day one was amazing, but we're just starting day one. So we'll add that on later. But what in the world? Like, I'm like, maybe I should do like a talking sloth, that would be fun. I got this thing with sloths here.
And the script,
For those of you that know me.
the script was written with AI.
Yeah, so everything was completely written with AI. I mean, like, when I tell you don't have to think anymore, you don't have to think anymore. Which is really, really crazy. So yeah, that is...
On that, so I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Harmon Brothers, but they've written the ads for like the Squatty Potty and Poopery and several other companies. Well, you can write in AI, be a comedy advertising writer in the style of the Harmon Brothers, create a 30-second comedy video promoting my product or service for VO3. Separated 8-second clips because VO3 only has 8-second clips, and we'll actually start creating that script with all the scene directions, all the camera rolls, all the cuts, and produce a video like that. Really, really cool.
Yes, so this is groundbreaking for those of you that want to make video ads, especially if you don't like being on camera, because you can just dream up anything, and you can have it wear your brand. You're not limited to literally anything. In fact, there really isn't a lot of limitations with video. I'm seeing it like clone stars and stuff, which a lot of apps won't let you do that. I wouldn't recommend using that for your services in your business.
And again, it's really hard to hire a talking sloth. I've tried that. It does perfect.
Yeah. So that is VO3. Very cool tool. Let me show you a couple other things here.
What do you think is the most useful thing that you're working on right now? Like, what do you spend the most time with of some of the tools that you're sharing with Brian?
I think probably right now I'm a little bit obsessed with building applications, just because I can't build apps. That was like a huge limitation for me.
Now, you just did a call with the pro last week on this, but this is something that you keep running like, oh, it's a pretty amazing tool. It allows you to instantly create apps with no code whatsoever, just from an idea. Is that right?
That's right, and I'm testing other stuff. One of them, Merchant, is just not public yet, but we've been talking with them. I would say one of the easiest ones out on the market right now is probably Lovable. That's the one that you see on my screen right now.
It's Lovable.net.
And it integrates directly with a back-end database called Superbase, which is one of the biggest database companies. And so the fact that you can have a front-end and a back-end working, operating app and website by clicking some buttons on your computer is wild. So, like, if you ever had like an idea, and if it's really, really complex, this might not be the tool to do that. It might be good to like do an MVP, but it's really good to create a simple type of app idea that you have, or a lead magnet, and it's going to work really, really good for that. And in fact, we can try it real quick if you want to give it a go. I'm going to show you how to do it better, actually, in the next session, because I actually use super prompts to create my apps. But just to show you the ease of use of this thing, let's create an app. Well, let's pick somebody from the audience. Healthcare? Coaching? Okay. What kind of coaching is it? Relation intelligence coaching?
Corporations.
Relation intelligence coaching. Corporations. What should we have it do? Maybe qualify them to see if they're a good fit for the coaching?
Is your organization like a readiness app? Is your organization ready for relationship intelligence?
There you go. That's great. That's great.
That's exactly what you do.
That's exactly what
Yeah, it's something sort of like
Make it qualify them to see if they're ready for a relational intelligence coach.
like a quiz.
All right, let's just do like a sentence, because I want to see what happens. All right, let's go. Now again, I actually do use super prompts for this because it does make it better, and I'll show you an example of that. But I want you to know that that's probably going to be the hardest thing that I did to build that app. And I know zero about coding. I seem like very techie because I know a lot about AI, but we're passing out button pusher shirts for a reason. Like, sometimes there is a need to have like a developer, and we have some on staff, but the stuff that I do, it never revolves around that. And
Sometimes you don't even push your own buttons.
yeah, that's correct. Sometimes I don't even push my own buttons.
So we were trying months together. This was a long time ago, and we had to change our flight on the Southwest app. And I was watching him try to do it, and I got so frustrated, I took it out of his hand and did it for him. I think he was tricking me, but he doesn't even push the button sometimes, so I did it for him.
So this is spinning up a real app. But when I say app, it's literally like the website and everything. So if you wanted to create like a really nice looking website that is a functional app that does something, whether it's qualifying, so that was one we just spun up of a suggestion. I've done deal analyzers for real estate. You can do, we did a travel app, so it created an app for group travelers where everybody could plan together and have the ideas all organized and all funded separately, and it would take the strike payment. And we were all able to do that just by going through a couple exercises with this. Now, not everything's perfect every time, but what happens, we're waiting here for a second, what happens is it'll give you a preview, so I can start testing it. So as soon as that's done, I basically just chat with it like a friend. So the easiest way I can explain how to create an app with Lovable is pretending like I was doing with ChatGPT, that you got a best buddy in your pocket that's a full stack developer that can build full stack apps, meaning like front end, back end with the database, the whole thing, instead of just making it look pretty in the front, whatever, it's a full app. You have that friend that you can just text and ask him what you need. Because like all I've done right now is put a sentence in, it's gonna populate something. And when it's done and I don't like something, I wanna change a button, I wanna like add my email into it so we can send open messages, all that kind of stuff. I just ask my friend to do it. And it automatically does it. So like I said, it connects with like Supabase, the database. I don't need to know anything about databases or Supabase. It connects directly into Lovable. And it used to be where like it was just user friendly. Now like I can type in what I want to happen. It goes into that database website and tells it what to do right from this platform. So I just stay in chat like the entire time talking to it, and it does the rest for me. Does it include internet security?
Yeah.
Well, Supabase is pretty secure. I mean, it kind of depends on the app that you're using. You know, I would say if you're growing like something really, really big, and you know, this is really good for like an MVP. If I were to like put hundreds of thousands of people into an app, I'm probably going to want to have somebody looking over and just make sure that we're good. You know, but it builds like professional, full working apps from A to Z. A lot of people use Lovable, especially the things that I'm trying to create stuff for, is like front-end hooks. So instead of creating like full-blown, really complex apps, it's really easy to go on and make stuff for lead gen. Like if you were like a fitness coach, it could make an app where people could type in their information, their height, weight, all this kind of stuff, and build out a full like 30-day fitness plan. And then maybe that leads into, do you think you're going to need help with that? And then they contact you. So like using it as a front-end lead mechanism to get leads in the door that you can sell into other things would be a really good thing to use this for.
Right, if I could add, so he just mentioned something that I think he kind of glossed over that I thought was so important. He mentioned people use this for an MVP. What that means is minimal viable products. So oftentimes, now we've worked with tens of thousands of entrepreneurs all around the world right now, and one of the things is how do I get started, or how do I get my idea launched? Well, it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect from the start. So what a minimal viable product is getting your idea out in the marketplace, testing it, having people use it, and seeing if it's viable. So instead of paying developers countless dollars and countless hours to get something out into the market, you have a product that you can start testing and refining and getting the market done. And you see this kind of take a little bit of time. Part of it's the internet, part of it's developing the program for us. But it's developing the software in minutes, what would normally take weeks or months to do. And if you take weeks and months to create a product that might not be market ready, or even worse, nobody wants, which is what I'm going to test first, then that's a lot of wasted time and a lot of wasted dollars. So if you can get to where you are now to minimum viable products, test that out, see if there's market viability, if people actually want the product or service. With apps like this, then you're golden. You can test out and roll out even faster.
Yeah, let me do like an example of something just like super recent. took the prompt generator that's in the app, and I created a separate site for just the prompt generator. And so now I'm going to give out like maybe 3 prompts for free, and I'm going to get a ton of people that want to use it, because once they try it, they're like, holy cow, this is crazy. And so that's kind of a method that, I don't know if anybody's heard of like Neil Patel. So I've told you guys about tools like Answer the Public videos. You'll notice with all of his tools, he'll give away like 3 free searches a day. Like his main thing is he's building a massive list with a tool that everybody wants to use. And that also gets revenue because the users that are going to keep using it and cost him money end up paying. But the rest of them, he's still getting all these people that are interested in other stuff that he can sell to. And it's genius because it goes viral. So like I'm doing the same thing with the super prompt generator. So if you guys later, when you see how to create these prompts, because a lot of you aren't using it yet, you can make those a tool. So it doesn't have to be a prompt. Like all the cool stuff that you guys use is all driven by prompts. And it all matters like how good the prompt is. So our prompts are like literally some of the best that you can get. So that's what makes a good tool or a bad tool when you're using them. Like all these AI tools, they're driven by how they're prompted. And so the things that you can create, the tools that you can create with this are insane. So you could go in our app and creating these prompts that we'll show you a little later. And in the tools section, internet's killing me. In the tools section, well, I can save my prompts in the tools section and I have them there for you all the time. So I just copy the prompt and paste it in there. But on the flip side of that, you can use that externally. So I can build, like I said, I can build stuff with Lovable. My apps are on Lovable are made with my prompts. So the super prompt generator, it has my prompt in the background. But Lovable just makes it look cool, puts it live, and makes it into an entire website, which I can't pull this up now, but I'll pull it up later for you. I've created like a hook generator in there. You can make a chat GPT out of it. So for those of you making GPTs, you can put your prompt inside of the GPT and use that. So a lot of you are already making GPTs. You can use the prompt generator to create GPTs, which is absolutely amazing. So anyway, I really want to show that to you, so we'll have to go back to that.
Yeah, so in our next session, we're going to go over super prompts, how to use prompts. Does anybody need the definition of what a prompt is? Raise your hand, it's okay. Does anybody need to know what a prompt means? All right, we have a couple hands. We'll go over a little bit of what that means here in a second at our next session before we do that as a basic. But essentially what a prompt is a basic command that you give AI to get the output, a basic command. One of the things that I see a lot of people sort of not getting the most out of the prompts is they're not asking a very specific question or requests. They're using it as a Google search or something that is, and it's not a Google search. It's not the same as Google search. So when we go over what a super prompt is, what a prompt is versus super prompts, we'll go over how to get exactly what you're looking for from AI every single time. And so you're not disappointed with the results and you get the feedback that you want.
I'm a little nervous. I wonder if I should switch to conference.
I'm not sure which internet we're on, but we'll fix that with the break. We'll get you started and make sure we're on the right one.
All right, here it is. So this is actually not the one that we just did, but I'll show this to you anyway. This is the group planning app. So I just want to go back. I actually did use a super prompt for this that we got from the app. So we'll show this after the break. And as you can see, okay. we'll show you after the break. We'll get this fixed, but that was a whole full-blown website and an application for travel. And we did it on one of the pro calls all together in seconds. Like I didn't have to spend any time. So I guess my point is that app that I just showed you, Lovable, which is very inexpensive to use. I mean, imagine what it would cost you to build an app and a website and all that kind of stuff a couple years ago. And the time that it would take for you to get it in your hands. You can now get that in like 5-10 minutes. Depending upon how hard it is, if it's simple. If it's a little bit more complex and you want it to do a lot of things, it could get into the hours, but it's you having conversations back and forth, being picky, saying I want to add this, I want to change this. But it's all you have to do is talk to it. And if you get stuck, you just ask a question. Like, I didn't read instructions with Laravel. So like when I had the app up, I'm like, oh man, this is cool. But now what? Like, how do I get it on my domain? And I just asked it, and it said, all right, log into your GoDaddy, log into your domain account, and it had me log into GoDaddy right there, connected it. I didn't even have to do my DNS. Like it literally just connected to my domain name, and my domain was live. And then I'm like, I want to send a welcome email. How do I do that? And it just kept giving me instructions for every single thing that I wanted. So I didn't read a manual. It's just wherever you're at with it, where you're like, how do I do this part? You just text your buddy and ask him how to do it. But instead of giving you the answer, many times it's just like, all right, cool, I'll go fix that. I'll be back in a minute. And it goes and does the work and comes back and says, I'm done. And then it all keeps coming up in that preview, so I can keep looking at it and seeing if I like it or I don't like it. But we're living in a world where I can do that stuff in a daytime that would have taken forever, even if I paid somebody that really knew what they're doing. Like, I mean, I feel bad for like junior devs right now, like junior developers. Like, AI can do all that stuff. I think the senior developers, there's still obviously a place, and even for junior devs too. But these tools can do that kind of stuff now. And so it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. We always say, like, today is the worst day AI is ever going to be. And all the tools that we use, like Lovable, they just keep getting better. So it's not, a lot of times it's not like some other company comes out and it's way better than that one, which that happens too. But the tools themselves just keep evolving, like, almost every month. Like, look at where we've come from where we were like a year ago with all this stuff. It's absolutely crazy.
2 weeks ago.
So who's learned something from this session so far? And again, I appreciate this is our first live podcast that we've done on Apple. If you type in AI for Business, and actually I just realized there's a lot of AI for Business podcasts, but type in Brian's name or my name, you'll see our podcast. I would love for you to give us a review on here. You actually heard our podcast, so you've heard it. So it's AI for Business on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, on YouTube, things like that. Find AI for Business podcasts. You'll see my name or Brian's name there as well. It's the big giant logo behind me. Give us a review. We would love that. Super appreciate it. We have a lot to cover over the next few days. Got something else?
So I'm gonna doubt that the start button is gonna pull up right now. But if I were building this app and if I had really good internet connection right now, it's already ready to start testing. And it might not work, there's going to be some that we need to change, but this is the relation intelligence assessment. And it did all the graphics, so this is like a website. I would have it add a logo, but you can have it build a logo for you too. But it's got the team dynamics, assess your current team collaboration and communication patterns, growth potential, identify opportunities for leadership and organizational development, readiness score, get a personalized recommendation for your coaching journey, quick, comprehensive, 15 strategic questions designed by relational intelligence experts, actionable insights, receive tailored recommendations based on your organization's unique profile, expert guidance, connect with certified relational intelligence coaches if you qualify. Takes approximately 5 to 7 minutes. Let's see if it's, okay, so it goes to the next screen. How would you describe the current communication patterns within your leadership team? Open, transparent, and consistently effective across all levels. I'm just going to pick the first one.
So as it's going through this quiz, what you realize is we didn't put any information about what this needs to be, like what the questions are. It didn't. It created all the, that's right. It created all the copy. It created all the questions. It's going through. Feel free to go through all of it and kind of, as we see it, you can, if you wanted to, you can actually have a prompt that has all the information. But again, if you needed to get something out the door really fast as a minimal viable product, we have it here.
So I'll just kind of cruise through them, but you saw what I did. I put a sentence in. And now I not only have my website, but the app. Like, it didn't have to be this simple. When I said simple, it can be more complex than this. But it's showing the questions up here. Like, even just how, like, I scroll over this stuff and it lights up. Those little tiny details. That's awesome. I didn't tell it to do anything. So I'm just clicking next, next. It made up the 15 questions. I didn't even tell it what they're supposed to be. But it looks like they're actually pretty good. So this one didn't use a super prompt. I just literally typed a sentence and I said, let's create an app for relational intelligence coaching for corporations. Make the app qualify to see if they're ready for an intelligence coach. That's how we built what we have over here. So like, if you guys can click a button pushers in here, we're good. Next. I kind of want to finish it just to see if it's like a thank you page. Are we going to do that?
The big giant red screen that says time's up in front of you.
So readiness score 72%. Great potential. You're ready to begin your relational intelligence journey. Recommended next steps: connect with the coach to discuss your specific contacts. Implement basic team communication frameworks. Conduct leadership readiness assessments. Start with your foundational relational intelligence training. You qualify for coaching. Schedule your consultation.
So the cool thing about this is this tool works way better to collect emails. So let's say you're building your list or looking for qualified clients for your business. Rather than give them a PDF or an ebook or something like this, they want to take the quiz and you're going to schedule a qualified prospect at the end. So something really simple to build your email list, build credibility, position yourself in a type of way. So we see if no one's saying it, play the videos now, I'm going to pull up one video before we go to break.
We'll do one for the break. Is that cool or what?
Yeah.
If you're looking to like start something, I mean, you got your lead magnet, the website, like, and I'll show you in the next session. We'll show you how to kind of brainstorm the name and get the domain and do the whole process. But this is crazy, and it's going to get better where you can do like super complex. Like so, I'm just really excited about it just because of the stuff that we've already been building with it. Like some of it, I'm having I think more use out of it myself. Like I'm building stuff that I really want. And I'm like, I guess I didn't need to build a full-blown app that big since it took 10 minutes, why didn't I know? All right, let's try this out.
Business event. Love you all.
All right. All right. Yeah, I know. I got another video playing in the background here. Let's see. What made you thunder tonight, real quick? I think I missed something.
Really stoked to cruise over to the AI4B event in Orlando, Florida, dude. Let's go!
We've got the wind in there, which is pretty cool.
Just landed in Orlando, Florida. Stoked to hit the AI4B event and see what all the hype's about, bro. Let's roll!
Can't wait to soak up some knowledge from Brian and Francis, man. These guys are dialed in.
What's that? Yeah, we can walk through how to do that. That's VO3, by the way. And again, we just loaded it into the app, so.
Awesome. Good stuff?
Yes.
So we're gonna go into a break. I think we're gonna take a 15-minute break. Before we do, they are these. Be on the watch out for these, right? These are our little shiny rubber duckies. And on the back, there's a number. This one says 50K. That is, and bring this to the registration desk. And what it is 50,000 credits for the app. Right? So they're all, there's some that are 10, there's some that are 50, there's some that are 100,000. So if you love using the app, right here.